Kia Stonic offers small SUV buyers yet another tempting choice. The looks can be eye-catching and it's good to drive in comparison to most obvious rivals. In addition, this car is reasonably spacious and pretty affordable to run, especially in diesel form, or when fitted out with the brand's impressive 1-litre TGDI petrol engine. Plus, prices are pitched keenly and you get a 7-year warranty. It is, in short, a very competitive proposition indeed.
This Stonic is 70mm taller than the Rio model it's based on, and to compensate it has lengthened springs and dampers. At the wheel, you don't get a particularly commanding driving position, but what is on offer, rather surprisingly, is a slightly sharper driving experience than is available in the Rio. That's down to a standard torque vectoring system that gives you extra traction at speed through tight corners. Plus, there's also a stiff body shell and fairly firm suspension that acquaints you with small bumps and tarmac tears, well, a little more keenly than is the case with some rivals. It's nothing you couldn't live with, though, and suspension smoothness improves the faster you go. Thanks to this, and thanks to very reasonable levels of refinement, the Stonic is a surprisingly able partner for longer trips. Engine-wise, there's a three-way choice. Most buyers, quite rightly, will ignore the entry-level 98 brake horsepower, 4-cylinder, 1.4-litre MPI, normally aspirated petrol unit, and opt instead for the 1-litre TGDI turbo petrol power plant that we're trying here. This 3-cylinder unit develops 118 brake horsepower and can be impressively clean and frugal, managing 56.5 mpg on the combined cycle and 115 grams per kilometre of CO2. Those are the kind of figures that, until recently, you would have needed a diesel to achieve in this segment. If you do want a diesel, Kia offers a 108 bhp 1.6-litre CRDI power plant. Predictably, there's no four-wheel drive system or traction-enhancing setup on offer, but a 42mm ride height increase that this model enjoys over its Rio Super Mini donor design suggests that reasonable progress could be made in slippery car parks or on light field tracks if you were to equip this car with a decent set of winter tyres. This is one of the most striking Kia models we've seen to date, although the shape does incorporate several of the brand's key recognisable signature design elements. Styled in Europe in collaboration with Kia's Korean design studio, the body aims to blend sharp horizontal feature lines with softer sculpted surfaces. Now, like most cars of this kind, you have to add quite a lot to the entry-level price if you're going to get the kind of personalised look that we've got here. But if that's possible, well, you get yourself a car the neighbours will really notice. Inside, this Stonic doesn't really seat you much higher than you would be in the ordinary Rio model that it's based on. And you'll also miss out on the kind of jaunty cabin finishing that you might expect from a car of this kind if you don't stretch to a high-grade trim level like this one that brings inside the contrasting roof and mirror colour that you chose for the exterior. Here, as you can see, we have that, hence the lime green trimming around the middle of the dash and the centre stack that is also matched to similarly coloured steering wheel and upholstery stitching. And in the back, well, it's best not to get your hopes up too much here, given that the wheelbase of the Stonic, or in other words, the space between the front and rear wheels, is no different from the length available in that little Rio Super Mini. On the plus side, the body shell is slightly wider than it is in a Rio, though not by enough to make the prospect of sharing this back seat with two other adults a particularly comfortable one, and that's despite this low centre transmission tunnel. Still, that's the case with all the other models in this class too, and what's on offer back here is a big improvement on the cramped quarters that are provided by a rival Nissan Juke. So let's finish with a few words on boot space, which, thanks to this Stonic model's longer rear overhangs, has risen by 27 litres over what you get in a Kia Rio. This tailgate, it's light to lift, and it reveals a 352-litre luggage area that's class competitive but unremarkable by current SUV B-segment standards. Push forward the 60-40 split folding rear seat and you'll reveal a relatively flat loading floor with as much as 1,155 litres of total fresh air if you load up to the roof. Here's yet another Kia that should change the way you think about this ambitious Korean brand. Not only is it well built and decent value, but it also manages to be cute and characterful in a way that potential buyers will like. Which is just as well, because it faces a growing army of increasingly accomplished rivals, also targeted at buyers in the small SUV segment. True to its name, this car sets out to offer a speedy tonic to Juke and Capture class models of that sort. A more complete little crossover than you might have expected this kind of money would buy you. Kia dealers would surely have loved to have had this car years ago, but they must be pretty pleased they've got it now.